Hey everyone, quarantine day 21. So today I wanted to talk about being healthy. It is a big help as a musician to be in the best physical condition you can be in. I know a lot of my friends, especially brass players, do a lot of work on fitness. Several of them are marathon runners. So myself, over this break, I've been trying my best to at least get out and do a walk every day. I've been doing push-ups every day. I've been adding a push-up every day. So today I'm up to doing sets of 21 push-ups. By the end of this, that might get a bit much. But anyhow, I wanted to make sure to give you guys some information about fitness and some things that you can be doing with fitness in your home during the quarantine. Obviously, I am not a health and fitness expert, so I contacted someone who is. So my interview today is with Whitney, who is a hashtag built by Bethlehem proud person. She went to Fountain Hill Elementary School, went to Liberty High School, and now she, with her husband, owns a health club gym called Liven Up Fitness. There'll be links to their stuff in the description down below. So I contacted Whitney, kind of talked to her, especially about being a musician and being involved with marching band and some of the things that we can do to be in the best fitness that we can be. So enjoy the interview. Be healthy and enjoy your weekend.
Here with Whitney. Whitney is one of the owners of Liven Up Fitness and a BASD alumni, right?
Yeah, class of 2007.
Nice. So I was thinking about fitness and kids being at home, and maybe the next time we're performing might be marching band season. So I was thinking I'd ask you some questions. So let's start with, what are some good home exercises just everyone should be doing to keep active and healthy while we're all quarantined?
Yeah, so when it comes to working out at home, you really don't need a lot of things, little to no equipment. I mean, and if you don't have any weights at home, you could grab household items like a jug of water or laundry detergent. They're great because they have handles on it and you could do a lot of things with that. But most of the stuff you could do body weight, and it's just, doing enough reps of it and, rounds of it to get a stimulus going. But some of those different exercises that you could consider doing while you're at home would be more of the full body movement patterns. So I got my set back here. We've been, doing virtual workouts with all of our members. So I figured I'd show you a few different movement patterns, full body movement patterns that you could do at home with no equipment.
Awesome.
So that you can get a pretty good workout in. So I'm just going to back up so you can see me a little better.
All right.
First movement you could do are squats. So you don't need to have any equipment. If you wanted to grab something heavier in your room or in your house, you could do like a jug of water. But body weight squats, you're just sitting down into your heels, okay, and driving through your heels. So think about sitting down into your couch, into the toilet, things like that. Some things I want to show you, though, when you go down into your squat, your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart, okay? Chest nice and tall. And when you sit back, you're going to sit into those heels. You want to get your butt about parallel or below the knee, okay? And then when you're sitting down, you're also driving your knees out to the sides. So a few little pointers on that body weight squat. If you wanted to grab a weight, you could hold it right in a goblet position, whether that is, just a jug of water or laundry detergent at home. So really cool stuff. Body weight squat, that's going to work the whole body. We also have lunges. So a reverse lunge, just stepping back. You want to make sure that back knee drops down at a 90, okay? And one big thing is that knee isn't driving over the toe and you're not on your toes on that front foot. So again, when you go into a reverse lunge, you're stepping back, chest nice and tall, dropping the knee down, and back up. Alternating that. Another one would be our push-ups. Again, working to get chest to the floor, whether you're from a knee or a tall plank position. And you're dropping your elbows back at a 45 and straight up. So another thing with those push-ups and that arm, again, you don't want to go out at a 90. You want to bring them back.
Right.
So kind of like this, okay? What else do we got? I'm going to show you some variations of planks and push-ups in a second. But I know, Andrew, you love burpees, right? So
everybody loves burpees, don't they?
Yeah, so full body movement with that burpee as well. Dropping back into a plank, you're going to slowly lower to the floor. When you pop back up from the burpee, you want to land with your feet flat, okay? So that's the biggest thing with a burpee is you land with your feet flat when you're coming back up off the ground. And I'm going to be all winded for the rest of our conversation. So again, a lot of things you can do a lot of body weight exercises. We have a YouTube page, Liven Up Fitness. So we have a ton of free different workout videos on there that anyone can access, and you could take a look at those.
I'll definitely put that in the links.
Yes, and I believe one of the workouts is on there, but we call it the deck of cards. So I just showed you push, burpee, squat, lunge. Those are 4 different exercises. So you would write that down, and then that movement would be assigned to a different suite of your cards. So every time you pull a card, it'll be like a 5 of hearts. And if your hearts are push-ups, you got 5 push-ups. So really cool way to get a workout in at home.
Nice. Good stuff. So, so looking ahead towards the future, you might not be as familiar with marching band, but it is a very physical activity. It requires a lot of core strength and a lot of stabilization muscles. Do you have any recommendations of what our kids should be doing if they're looking to be as successful as possible for that next year?
Absolutely. So in addition to some different full body movements that I just showed you guys, obviously any of those are going to work really, all of your stabilization muscles, but a lot of what we do at Liven Up is anti-extension and anti-rotation core exercises, again, which will translate very nicely into building that stabilization you need to get through, how long do you guys go? Like sometimes those parades that you do are like very long.
When we did the Philadelphia Thanksgiving parade this year, I want to say we were going at least an hour. Some little pauses in there, but it's a long time, and especially if you've got one of the heavier instruments you're holding up, even if it's a lighter instrument, after a while, that's a lot of core and stabilization stuff happening there.
Absolutely. So some of the stuff I want to show you right now, first few movements are just variations of a plank. So we think of the traditional plank. And you can either do this from the forearm or a tall bridge. So our tall plank position, our wrists are going to be underneath our shoulder. So you want a nice straight line, wrists underneath your shoulder. Your butt is in line with your shoulder and your ankle. So a nice straight line there. You squeeze your glutes, you squeeze your quads, and your feet should be shoulder width apart. So either from a tall plank or a low plank. All right. And then we can throw some variations in there. A plank with a hip slap. So again, anti-extension. We don't want to jiggle too much. We want to hold that core nice and tight. So you could be in that tall plank position and just tap your hip without rotating your hips. So again, holding that core, adding a variation so that you can add more stabilizer muscles in there. Another one would be around the world plank. This is where you're going to lift your hands and your feet, not all at once. That would be crazy. But you're going to lift one hand and then the other, and then one foot and then the other. you don't want to bring it up too high. I just want about an inch or two off the floor. And again, you're just going around the world without dropping your hips.
Just shifting which muscles are stabilizing there, right?
Exactly. And it's full body. I mean, again, you're using every stabilizer that you have. And a third one would be a plank with a reach. You could be in a low plank position on the forearm. And if you want to have something in front of you that you're simply tapping, okay? And again, not shifting your weight too much. Also, a push-up is going to use like every stabilizer in your body as well. So a marching push-up, you could have your, again, go to your tall plank position, and you're going to lift one foot, the other, and then drop down into a push-up. So marching push-up, again, we're using basically everything in there. You could just lift your feet up, again, about 2 inches off the ground with that as well.
Nice.
Another variation of the push-up is an inchworm. So tall plank or tall standing position, we're going to inch our way into that tall plank position, okay? And then we're going to go down into our push-up. So another variation of that. And then you could do anti-rotation core exercises. So going into a side plank, lifting those legs up. If you want to make it harder, bring that hand off the ground. So those are just some different ways to really build some core stabilization and stability at home with a few different exercises.
Nice. And those are always good, even if you're not doing marching band. It's core is so integral to every movement we're doing. So great. All right. So I don't know if this one goes into your expertise or not, but obviously with playing an instrument, most wind instruments, it's a lot of breath support, a lot of breath control. Do you have any suggestions about that? Maybe something along the lines of, it's kind of similar to like a swimmer controlling their breathing as they're swimming as well.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know how to breathe properly when they exercise. And that is going to have a direct impact on your lungs and just all of your breathing in general. So the first thing that you need to learn when it comes to breathing properly while exercising is learning how to exhale upon exertion. So what I'm saying is I want you to breathe out during the hardest part of a movement.
Okay.
So what that would be is if you're in a push-up position, you're going to go down. That's pretty easy, going down, right? So you're going to breathe in when you go down. And then as you come up, that's the difficult part of the push-up is as you're coming off the ground, right, you're breathing out. So you're exhaling. So breathe in and then breathe out. You would do that in a pull-up. You would breathe out as you come up, hardest part, and then breathe in on the way down. You think of your squats. When you go down, you're breathing in, and then you have to lift all of that weight to come back up. So you're breathing out as you come up during your squat. So again, just learning how to breathe out and exhale during the hardest part of your movement. As you begin to, lift heavier weights or require more loads, sometimes people will take that breath in and basically hold it and then breathe out again during the hardest part of that movement. So even though it's not a direct correlation to how you're going to be breathing while marching, it's building your strength, your lung capacity, the way you oxygenate. So I think that all starts with breathing properly through exercise. And then doing some different spinal opening exercises, like just sitting in a position like this where you have your feet together, okay? You grab your ankles and you're gonna pull your shoulders back, really open up your heart, your chest, your lungs, and take big inhales through your nose for 5 seconds. And then breathe out for 5 seconds through your nose. And that's really gonna open up those muscles. I know that a lot of the kids right now are obviously doing schoolwork virtually. So you're probably sitting in really ugly positions at your desk like this, hunched over. that's going to take a huge toll on your breathing because you're tightening up all of the muscles around your lungs. Okay. So again, making sure that you're pulling your shoulders back just while you're typing is going to help you as well, in addition to getting some workouts in and exercising. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, great. So last question for you. Overall health suggestions, especially when dealing with being stuck at home.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really tough for everyone right now because our lives have kind of been flipped upside down. So my biggest suggestion would be to start a routine. We can't control a lot of what's happening to us, but we can control our mindset and how we go about our days. I simply had to remind myself when I woke up, started waking up after all of this hit, to just make my bed, and go through those smaller routines that you're used to doing. And then building in times, like you're obviously going to be doing your schoolwork, try to say, hey, every day I'm intentionally going to get 20 minutes of exercise in at 11 o'clock and stick to it, just like you would stick to your normal schedule if you were in school, doing the different things that you would be doing. So my biggest suggestion is creating a routine, and just getting your mind right. Things that are going to give you an outlet, in addition to what you have going on daily. Now that the weather is getting really nice, I highly suggest people get out and walk, jog, or run. If you have a bike, get on the bike and just get out there and clear your mind, enjoy the weather and get through this. But again, I think just your mindset in general and creating a routine is really going to help us with dealing with this at-home situation.
Great advice. Love it. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with us.
I hope everyone can kind of get back to their normal routine sooner than later. But I think that, when it comes down to it, you just got to make the best of it. I know you're going to hook everyone up with some free resources. So, please take a look at that and do our workouts. We try to make them fun. So
perfect.
And, set some goals for the future. You could create the game plan now so that it's in motion. We've never had so much time on our hands, so use it wisely. But thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it.